morning, FlossTube. Welcome to my channel, coffee, wine, and stitching time. And every time I say coffee, I have to look for it. And here it is. Yes, it is November 3rd. November 3rd. And I'm still using my Silence of the Lambs mug. I love this mug because it's so big. It holds all the coffee and all the cream, and it's a big cup of coffee. It's not just those little tiny baby, like, let's have a little cup of coffee. No, we have a big day planned, so we need a big cup of coffee. I've been procrastinating on a few things, which is, you know, normal for me. I just brewed it so it's really hot. And I have my breakfast with me too. I have maple glazed donut holes. I just want to like just throw them all in, but then I know I can't talk. So I'll be very careful about that. Anyways, grab a snack, grab a beverage. This one isn't going to be a feature length film like the last one was. But there's enough. So like I said, it's November 3rd. Oh, I feel like I finished off October strong and wonderful. Oh, by the way, this is my FlossTube channel, Coffee, Wine, and Stitching Time, about cross stitch and yarn stuff and quilting stuff. Oh, I did forget something. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. Why is it that when you pause you pause the video, but you still run to hurry to go get the thing you forgot? I'll be right back. Anyways, it's funny. And I have proof that I was in my sewing room and I ran my sewing machine. Are you super excited? Don't be totally above the top ecstatic. The sewing I did wasn't the fun stuff that I wanted to do yet, but it helped me figure out what I needed to do so I can do the fun stuff. So, but it's okay. It's okay. It's baby steps. We're all getting there. All right, last night I had a hard time going to sleep because I have this list of things that I've been meaning to get done. I have not gotten them done yet. And so I was like reevaluating my list, looking at it, what's most important. Number one most important was laundry because I'm flying to Pigeon Forge, Tennessee tomorrow. Well, I'm flying to Knoxville, but ending up in Pigeon Forge. So laundry was the most important thing. So I did get that started today. So yay me, got that going. And I'm already looking at my list and I'm like, oh, I already did things out of order. Because instead of doing the FlossTube first, I was going to go back up into the sewing room and finish that menial task that I didn't want to do, so I could do the fun things and then do the fun things and then come down and show you the fun things. So I don't know, there might be some like little additions later or something like that that will pop in, and we'll talk about stuff. So, all right, here we go. Let's talk about I organized it a little bit yesterday, but now I just don't know what I want to talk about first. Anyways, all right, let's talk about progress. Let's wrap up some Halloween stuff. So, I know I showed this before. I feel like I had another finish, but I don't know where it is. Anyways, okay. I know I showed this before. This was Luminous Fiber Arts, the Sneaky Spooky Spells. I did Sneaky and Spooky, so I showed that on a previous video. So I have that one done. And then I finished, I was working on my 6 Characters of Halloween by, Cory Badacory. So it's this one here, and these are the 6 characters. The 2 characters that I did was this witch and this pumpkin guy. So I'm only doing 2 of those. And I think back in, let's see, we actually have a piece of paper on this one telling me things. Back in 2022 of October, oh, that reminds me, I think I had an anniversary this last month. A flossiversary. I believe my first FlossTube was October of 2021, maybe? So this might be a 4-year anniversary, kind of a date past due, belated thing. I don't know. It's about that time. So, anyways, back in October of 2022 is when I started Cory About a Cory, Sneaky, oh, that's Sneaky Spooky Spells. Hang on. Wrong one. Here we go. Halloween, nope, that's Halloween Wreath. Oh, geez, Louise, Janelle. Get your stuff together. Here we go. Here's the right one. October 2021. Yes, that's what I thought. And then I'm like 22, so that made me question my anniversary date too. But October 2021, I started the 6 characters of Halloween, and I started the Fun Witch. So here is my finished Fun Witch. So the only thing I had done when I started this month was the black. And I had, her face was originally green and I had the purple hair in there, but I wasn't liking how it was done. So I ripped out the green face and I put in a regular, Caucasian-y Janelle looking face. And I also didn't really like the harshness. It wasn't harsh. The purple hair was just too pink and not enough purple. So I threw in a little bit of back stitching in there just to give it some definition. So I did a few little changes. Did I not? Oh no, I did finish it. You just can't see it real well. I put a little étoile in there for the bottle there. But yeah, I did change colors, obviously. I just kind of looked at the picture and said, let's do this color. But yeah, so there's my witch. And then I went over to my pumpkin guy. You know, here, let me find that picture again so you can refamiliarize yourself on what he looks like. Because I did change him up a little bit as well. Let's get up close and personal with him. And you might be able to, I know it's kind of blurry, I'm sorry. On his coat, it has orange spots. So I think, I'm just glancing at it really quick. Again, I picked my own colors and everything like that. But yeah, I replaced the orange spots with the color of the bag so he was more scarecrowy. Oh, and that's the other thing I did. There was like some weird open space here, like there was supposed to be a neck or he was a floating head or something. I didn't like that. So I closed it up and I made a more of a fluffy, furry collar kind of look. And then there was a little gap down in here on something, so I just filled in and did something else. But yeah, so there are my 6 characters of Halloween, and I'm gonna finish these as pillows. Now, I'm not gonna finish these this year. These are going to go into my project. Jenny, don't know why is it blanking on me? It's a roll. Fabric roll, project roll. It's going to go on my project roll so they don't get all wrinkly and hard to get the wrinkles out to finish them. So these guys are going to go away for a little bit of time. They're not in timeout. They just are going to simmer and absorb their colors until we do finish them. They're going to be finished as pillows. And I've taken down all of my Halloween stuff. So now I've brought out fall. So here's some pictures of all my fall decorating. So yeah, so we did that. All right, more progress. I went through all of my, I didn't touch any of my other Halloween things. I got hyper focused on certain things, so I just kept going with them. But I did my frosted pumpkin stitchery, the Halloween wreath. The only part I had done is this house. This was like clue 1, and clue 1's not even all the way complete done. But because I fell behind, I got to see the rest of it, and I love the house. I'm not real keen on the rest of it. So I have a friend that I am going to give this to, and I have everything's all kitted. It's all there. So I'm going to give that to her so she can have that and do that. She's working on a lot of the Satsuma Street sales and stuff like that. So that is where that's going. So we've reduced. So if you actually count all those things, we've taken 5 things out. And I wanted to finish 4 Halloween things. So I think I did it. I did it. I did it. All right. The other thing that I did, let me just make sure there's no other fun surprises in this bag that I'm not sure of. Oh, it's my list of things to do from 3 weeks ago. I still didn't do those things because those are still on this list for today. I did a little more stitching on my needle bling, which is Tutu, that I started at the Flash Friends retreat, and I got my nails done. I found this metallic paint. It's very green, like that. Like you can see it's very green, but then it turns into like this rose gold coppery kind of color. So it changes like with all the movement. I've had it on now for 3 days. This is my 3rd day. It is a little annoying, but I'm gonna go with it. Let's go with it. Anyway, so last time I showed this, I had just the black lines on there. So I did the rest. I have the top of the witch's boots done. So now I just need to start those boots. And I was like, I didn't feel that I had the mental capacity to start those boots. So I decided that's what I'm going to end up with this year for this one. This one's done. And I need to stick this somewhere. Okay. Remind me it's in my fall coffee bag. So I can find that needle later. Hopefully I find out when I'm going through plans, and then I can stick it on a needle minder in the plans. Ooh, I should grab a couple needle minders for some starts that I have. Think, Janelle, think. All right, so this is gonna go away for a little. This is on Great Fizz. This is the new needle bling purple color this year, and this is on 18 count Ada. So we will pop that up and put that away. You know, the things on my list are to do my FlossTube, edit my FlossTube, post my FlossTube, put everything away. So I'm trying to keep a little organized as I'm getting things put away. All right, the next thing I have here is what I went to go do just besides the, when I was working on the witch boots, I was like, oh, I just didn't really have the feel to actually outline the rest of those boots. So I stopped and I pulled out my designer challenge from Welcome Stitchery, and I'm doing Homespun Elegance Country Spirits Collection, and it's called Delivering Peppermints and Candy Canes. Look at that fun owl. And this knit up really, or knits. I've been doing a lot of knitting. I'm doing this on 18 count linen, and this stitched up pretty fast. So I had started this before. The part that I had started before was that much of the green. And I think I was using 4 strands because I was like, wow, these holes are really big. So let's see what I need, how many strands I need. And I didn't like it. So I put it away, and I wasn't even going to complete this designer challenge and do it. But I decided, let's pull it out, let's do it. I don't like that. I'm not going to keep it anyways. Let's rip that little line out and whatever. And I'm like, And I'm looking at him like, but he's so cute. How can you say no to him? So I decided, let's give it a whirl. Well, within like 10 minutes, I had all of the top done or whatever, and the owl started. So look, it's finished. It's finished. It's finished. It's not FFO'd yet, but it is finished. And I used cute little buttons. Let me pull this out, put this behind it. There. I used some cute little buttons instead of stitching. And then if you can see down there, there were buttons for the wheels. I found like chocolate chip cookie buttons. And for the red, I used, oh, it's not Krynic, Treasure Braid? The stuff that comes on the little floss cards. I used that for the hat. Oh, I forgot to put I was gonna put a little white pom-pom up there. All right, gotta pull that back out and finish that. But for the candy canes, I used the Treasure Braid ecru that's shiny as well. And then I have French knot. I added French knots here to make it look like they were like Christmas ornament balls hanging from or something like that too, to give it a little something extra. But so there we are. I finished. So I'm gonna FFO this. That's what one of my plans is to do today, is to go up in my sewing room and FFO this and one other item that's in there. So I've got a little bit of FFOing to do. And I have a little bit of, I have just a teeny bit of stitching to do as well. I'm gonna grab that right now. Here, this is Lamb's Pride braid. This is what I used for the white part of the ecru. So we'll make a pom-pom out of that guy. All right, that looks like it's all of my stitching progress. Let's look at yarn progress. Let's take a bite of my... I started my garter stitch baby blanket for the granddaughter that's being born in January. Well, the plan is January. Find my little book things. Book. We had like 26 trick-or-treaters. I was watching Hocus Pocus during the trick-or-treating. So that was pretty fun. So yeah, me saying book reminded me of that. So the garter stitch baby blanket that I'm doing it's called Patter Cake DK One Size by Sherdar. It's a diagonal stitch garter stitch blanket. And I'm using, this is the same one I made for, the same pattern I made for Waylon. But it was more gray tweed kind of color. This is what I'm doing for the granddaughter that's coming in January. So I'm loving the colors of this. It's turning out really well. It's off of this huge cake. It's Creative Melange Aran Wonder Ball. But yes, it's turning out really pretty. I'm taking this is the one knitting project I'm taking to Pigeon Forge with me, because this is just strictly back and forth stitching. On one side you increase on both ends, and on the other side you just knit. So it's all knitting, so it's going to be an easy one. So this is what's coming with me for yarn to Pigeon Forge. I don't know, am I gonna... Yeah, I'll do a video between the two, because I come back from Pigeon Forge and then I go to another knitting retreat after that. Let's see. What else did I started a second baby blanket for the little girl. I'm going to be starting a quilt for Waylon. So I'm like, I better get started on a second thing for the little girl. So I'm doing the slip stitch blanket, and it's hard. if I have a picture of it, I'll throw it in here. I think I do have a picture. I think I put it in here before. But the cast on is an I-cord cast on, and it's 151 stitches, and I'm probably close to maybe 90 right now. So I'm starting off with the blue, and then let's see. I start off with a blue, and then I go to the gray, and then I go to the purple. Wait, that's pink. Then I go to the purple. Let's do it this way. This will be better. And then I go to the green. It's a very light olivey green. And then I go to the pink. And amongst all of this, there will be little specks and checks of the cream color in it. So this is going to be that baby blanket. Trying to do some muted colors. Pink is not a favorite color, so I'm trying to keep it pastel-y and girly. You know, she's like, she's not opposed to pink. She's just, pink is not the favorite color. So I'm trying to keep some of these colors more muted in a way, if you want to say it that way. All right, then I went to this last weekend, Mitchell Wool Company. Sherry Mitchell was there at the yarn shop both Saturday and Sunday for events, and she did a great talk on explaining how she got involved. She didn't start all of this until, I think, was it 2021? Or 2020, or I don't know. She wanted to knit a sweater. So wanting to knit a sweater started the whole, now she has a whole wool company, yarn company. And the yarn that she has, it's called American Fire. Well, she's got different ones, but it's, she has some sheep. She does like use other fleece from other farms, but everything she does is ethical and sustainable and regrowable. She's very, very careful about everything she uses. All of her dyeing is plant dyed. So like this, all of these colors, and this is a natural color. This one is not dyed or anything, but and this one is natural, and I believe this one is natural. So these are like the three of the natural colors they have. But I mean, the dyeing, so there's also, I did get some more of this previously. I got this one. Oh, I did get the Dead of Night before. Oh well. I thought I got a blue. But, so these are all plant dyed, with different things like roots of a plant, marigolds, bark from trees. I mean, there's just like all kinds of interesting things that how they dye. And I was asking if they had, like, you know, on this, where's the Farm Friends brand, if they had any brown, and they don't have brown in every single color because not all the colors take or give whatever. So just like with cross stitch fabric, with Aida, linen, and even weave, you get 3 different versions from the same dye mix. So like she held up some greens, and they were 3 different shades of green, but it was the same dye mix. It just gave, because of the fiber content that was in there. If it was from the, well, this one is, let's see, one of these is from like the, yeah, this is the Wyoming Targhee sheep, the American fiber. This was one Rambouillet. Farm Friends brand is a mixture of all of the animals on her farm. Not all the animals, but all of the sheep. So it takes all of the sheep into play that she has, all like maybe 3 or 4 American versions. And one of the things she's doing is she's like sustaining the American herd, kind of a deal. Like, so like they're the American flock. Like instead of crossbreeding everything, they're mixing all the fibers in at the mill to get the different effects. So you have like pure Rambouillet or pure Wyoming Target, whatever. I mean, I don't know if these are the right things that I'm saying now, but keeping the flax there, and so try to keep the colors where you want them and stuff like that. Because like when a cat has kittens, half the time you don't know who the dad is, right? But just kidding. But when a cat has kittens, you get 5 or 6 different kittens that pop out. You get like a calico one, you get an orange one, you get a fluffy white one. I mean, there's so many different kinds of variations of cats that you can get, and she's trying to keep things uniform a little bit so that she can predict what she's going to get, because she has only like 60 some sheep on her farm now, and it takes a lot of wool, a lot of fleece to create the count of yarn that needs to be produced. So she has to kind of keep everything pretty organized or whatever. But anyways, okay, there, we're off of there. Stuff about the yarn. Anyways, she is an awesome person. She lives in Michigan. Her farm's like 40 miles from Canada. If you guys ever have the chance, there's something called the lambing event, and they have like a barnuminium where people can come stay, and I think she said it's like in March, and you can go and be there for the lambing events, and they feed you from the farm. So it's like, it's all inclusive. You stay there and you get to witness the birth, witness the birth of a lamb. You could possibly, she said sometimes they'll send a lamb and a pack and play and bottles back to you because they have to be fed every 2 hours. So it sounds like it's just a fun thing. So if you guys are ever interested in something like that, she's got a peacock on her farm. She's got pigs. She's got turkeys. I think she said she had, I don't know, maybe she doesn't have turkeys anymore. I don't know. Thelma and Louise were the turkeys at one point. Yeah, one's gone. I don't know if she still has the other one. But Magic Mike is the peacock. Betty is like this great big sheep. I mean, just all kinds of funness. Anyways, okay, carrying on. What did I start with? My Mitchell wool. So this is called green bean casserole, and this is called lamb's ear, but I'm calling this green bean casserole and cream of mushroom soup. So I'm putting extra cream of mushroom soup into my green bean casserole, and this is my Thanksgiving side dish. So let's see. What I am doing is, I've been wanting for a while to work on this Brianna K community or something like that, I think is what it's called. She does all these patterns, and one of the patterns is called the wheat. It has the wheat stitch in it. So I'm doing the crochet beanie wheat stitch hat from Brianna K Designs. So this is a picture from the cover of the pattern. So I'm doing the green on the beanie. I'm not doing the fold over one. I'm doing the one where it's going to be more of a beanie. So where the cream color is going to be green, and then where the other color is, it's going to be gray. So I started it, and I think I have my brim done. So now I need to venture up. Let's see. Does it fit? I had a hat on yesterday. Oh, let's see. Hopefully I'm sure it'll bunch together some, but yeah, so we're getting there. And I'm doing a medium. Apparently my crocheting style is a lot looser than my knitting style. Cause yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I got a new bag from Bee Woolen too. Speaking of bags, Jenny, I got bags. I think I talked about the Malabrigo event already, right? Did I talk about that already? The Vientos Yeah, because I was at Be Woolen and that too for their anniversary thing. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I talked about that. All right. So that's going up there. So Mitchell Wool Company, they make some really fun bags. This is the Scout bag. So I got this. It's just really nice. Nicely made. It's sturdy. And there's patches. And this one's called In My Granny Era. And you can iron on the patches on these bags. They're not a wax canvas, so you can just iron on or glue them on. And I was having a hard time because I wanted the purple bag, not the green bag. And the patch is orange, but then I realized, oh, the handle has orange on it. Okay, now I'm color coordinated. It's okay. So there we are. I got that. And then we did get, you know, there's always swag at these events. We got one of them, we got a free skein of one yarn. So one of those yarns I got for free. And then the second day, one of the skeins, you get $10 off. So, and then we also got a Mitchell Wool drawstring bag for another project. And then we also got a little accessory bag. And inside the accessory bag, I got this Be Woolen sticker. Inside the Mitchell Wool bag, I got a big Mitchell Wool magnet. And then also this little keychain. I'd knit that. And then there was another, I got a little stitch marker and it said all flocked up, or for flock's sake or something like that. This is their kind of their mission, for flock's sake. And it is, everything they do is for the sheep, so it's for flock's sake. So it's kind of fun, pretty fun. It was a good time, a good weekend. All right, that needs to go in that pile because it needs to make it back in that bag. All right, let's see, what else do we have that we started? Okay, that's that. That's just an empty bag now. Okay. So that's all I've started there. I'm going to have more, I'll have a lot more knitting after my next retreat. So I'll come back. Hopefully have a lot of cross stitch after this retreat. And I'm hoping for 3 finishes. 3. I know I have 3 starts that I'm going to have, but I'm hoping for 3 finishes. Okay, let's look at the next pile, shall we? I'm trying to figure out what the next pile is. So I looked at that. This is a list. Oh, okay, so progress. Up in my sewing room, I did not do the FFOs that I have on my list to do. I didn't do the table gifts yet. Those I have to still do today, and things like that. But I did hem my husband's pants. That was the not so fun thing, but that was the most important thing to get done. And in me doing that, I found that when I put my machine in reverse, so something's not all lined up good on my machine, and I think I need to bring it in and have it serviced, because on the plate of my sewing machine, there was this part right here, there was a catch both ways, and it kept breaking my yarn, but only when I put it in reverse. So I had my husband file it for me, and so yeah, so he filed it down, and hopefully we're good to go. Because every time I'd go in reverse to reinforce, you know, they're work pants, so they're not jeans material, but they're like a heavy canvas, but they're kind of like jeans where they have the great big seams, and you have to like reinforce over that extra big bump. And every time I went in reverse to reinforce over that extra big bump is when my thread broke, and it was really making me mad yesterday. But so now today he fixed it, so now I can go hem the rest of the pants, and I can redo the pair that I really messed up yesterday. But that's okay, because yesterday's pants were the right length. The day before pants were a little too short. They were good for standing, but when you sit, they were too short. So we have one pair of pants that are short, and then the rest of them, yesterday's length was good, even though they were sewn badly. The length was good. What a process. What a process. Anyways, okay. So I did get in the sewing room, and there's going to be more sewing today. So I will probably pop in later with updates of my things that I got, that I sewed. You know what? What am I sewing? I'm finishing that, and then I'm finishing the other thing. Yeah, I'll pop in at the end if I get those things done. If not, I'll probably be seeing the same thing at the end of the video. Anyways, okay, let's talk about more purchases. So we talked about everything I got at Fiber Friends, or at the Mitchell Wool Company. There's another brand of yarn that I keep seeing, and it is called Sandhill Yarns, and they're out of Alabama. And the thing that I see about them is they take pride in small batch processing to keep the cost down. And was it like $15 or something like that? They release their yarns every Friday night. They release their yarns once a week, and it's small batches, and they sell out within minutes. Well, I was on top of it this last week. I was able to snag a skein. I tried, there were 2 in my cart at one time, and I went to go check out, and it said, "Oops, sold out. Do you still want this other one?" And I'm like, yes, 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 give that to me. So this is Sandhill Yarns. And yeah, I think that's like $15 or something like that for a skein. So it's like one of their pride things or whatever. So this is DK. They have different weights that they do, and it's called Rain Clouds, and it is very soft. It's pretty. I like it. I like it a lot. It is made out of superwash merino. So I'm gonna definitely watch, because they have some very fun colors that they put out. And you can get on their like text message. You can like sign up for a text message to give you an alert. Like they say, hey, yarn's dropping pretty soon, be ready. But yeah, so that's pretty fun. I was happy to get one this time. It's been like 2 months that I've been trying to get something, and I'm just never on the ball to like get it. All right, other packages I got in the mail. Cottage Garden Threads. I am on their whatchamajigger, the tier 3 subscription, and I believe there was 1 month that got skipped or whatever because of all the weird shipping stuff. I don't know if I'm caught up or not. Sometimes with the shipping, especially when it's coming from different areas, it's hard to track and know, like when you're invoiced for something and you don't receive something for like a month later, it's hard to follow along and know like which one is this, because like now all of a sudden you're getting invoiced again like a week later for it again. So this is this one, whichever one this is. We have EXC. Actually, it's called EJ. Sorry, the name is below. EJ. We have Bowerbird. Or un. I don't know. Un? Un is one in French. Or un is undo. I don't know. We have some cobblestone. We have some papillion. I was actually looking through all of my Cottage Garden threads yesterday, or not yesterday, but when I was working on this guy, I was looking for like a three-tone cream color for that snow on the bottom, but I couldn't find one that I liked. Ezekiel. November. This one's pretty. Moth. This would make a fun house color, I think. Jacaranda. Oh, this one's cool. King Parrot. Okay, let me hold this one back because it's not as, it's showing, there we go, gotta go closer so it doesn't show as neon. Arlo. Wait Manor. This one's cool. Again, it's not as neon as it's coming out to be. It's a little more pinky than neon-y. Plum Pudding. I like that one a lot. And there we are. Those are my cottage garden threads. We'll put those in the thread pile to be put away. I signed up for Jingle Ball. I signed up for the Liz Matthews, the snow globe. So I have that package here. I'm not opening it yet. I'm not going to open it till probably after maybe I'll open it on the next video. And then I did get the kit for it. And then I got the kit for Primrose Cottage, the mesh bag. And then I got the PDF class for the gingerbread sewing book. So we'll keep these kind of close at hand for next time. Let's see. You know, okay, there's a big bag here from Warm and Woolly. That makes me feel like I did not go through this bag yet. So maybe I didn't go. I bet I didn't. Okay, so Be Woolen had their 4-year anniversary, or what, 4 or 5-year anniversary last weekend, and the Malabrigo Vientos came out. So I got these. This is actually more black than it's showing. It's showing more brown, but it's more black. And so I got some of the Vientos. This is super soft. It's a chunky, or is it bulky? Is it bulky or chunky? Bulky. So I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but it sure looks fun. And then I signed up for Stitch Club for the year, so I got a little tin of notions and then a couple doodle decks, and I got the sports doodle deck and the tropical doodle deck, and then I got a couple buttons. So that's what I got from Be Woolen last weekend for their anniversary. And then, okay, look, so I also found this yarn. It's from Sierra Company, Sierra Yarn. And you see like these, I'll put a picture of the sweater here. You see, oh, you know what? Oh yeah, no, I didn't do this. Okay. They had a Sierra Yarn, back to Sierra Yarn. They have a, where's the rest of my Sierra Yarn? I have another color somewhere. I'm trying to find it. Sorry. One moment. Ha, found it. Okay. I really need some more of this coffee, don't I? We will be here 2 hours again. Oh my goodness, Janelle. Okay, you saw the picture of the sweater. I keep seeing these Facebook ads and I'm like, I just love the look of that sweater. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to try it. But I decided to use like a rose. It's called Rose. So there's this light rose pink and this cream. So this is going to be the striped sweater that I do. It does look like it's more of a blown kind of tufted wool. This is made out of baby alpaca and Pima cotton, and this is a worsted weight yarn. So we're gonna try it and see what happens. And then they also had this. So this is the solid. It's like the Andean. Here you go. Andean solid. And then they also have, it's called Andean Spirits. So I thought this would be really fun for something. I don't know, a cowl, a hat, or some fingerless mitts, or maybe I can get fingerless mitts and a hat out of it. But I thought this was kind of cool for a color, so I got a couple skeins of those too. And then when they send that, they give you a crochet hook. So I'm guessing this is part of the kit. And then I got little Sierra handmade wash with care things. So that was kind of fun. Let's see. So that was that yarn. All right, so then at Warm and Woolly. So Warm and Woolly had the Malabrigo birthday, 20-year birthday event. And they just released their Vientos yarn. And I got, when I was there, there's swag bags. And in my swag bag is where I got this one. Oh no, was it the red? No, I got the black. Where's my black one? Here it is. Here's my swag bag. So I got the Vientos in the black from that one. I'm like, well, that's perfect because I just ordered some of that. So now I know I have plenty to do something with it. We got a little button from Malabrigo. We got free patterns. So Starship Cowl. The Arcade Cowl. And what's this one? What's Starship? This one. Gray Shot. So those are some fun ones. So I think those might be some options that I could possibly do with the yarn that I got. And then here's another one. Numa Cowl. And then more stickers. Lots of stickers. Lots of stickers that all say Malabrigo. So, and then they fed us too. They had a brunch, just like Bee Woolens, Lackens. They have some sort of a brunch or food also. So I also did a little bit of shopping at Warm and Woolly because it's the first time I'd ever been in their new spot. They're up in North Branch, and I found Wabi Sabi in the new Vientos color. It's really cute. Oh my gosh, this is good. It looks like a peacock. And then, ooh, this one, I need to, okay, so I'll throw a picture of the cowl here. This is Cascade Cantata. I do love the Cantata yarn, and the color on this one is so cool. The cowl that they had knit up in this one is the picture that I'm showing here. I don't know the name of it. Maybe it's on that picture, maybe it's not. But if you're interested and need to know the name, let me know. But yeah, so I got that for that. We did a yarn tasting. So what they did is they passed around all of the different Malabrigo yarns that they had, and you could take off like a little chunk of it so you could feel and see what each of the yarns was like. And they have this little sheet where they have like the fiber content of makeup and then the weight of it. So this will be a fun little guide for me for later, like, ooh, okay, I want this. Which Malabrigo yarn do I want to use? Because they have some that are plied, some that aren't plied. It's some that are just like a hand spun kind of thing. It's cool. Bulkier, chunkier, you know, very fun stuff. Softer, cashmere. Yeah, and then these are like the little samples that they passed around, and at the end everybody got to pick a sample. So I picked the caramel, the Seis Cabos. I think it's like 6 ply or something like that. So it's a light worsted. Thought that was fun. As I was shopping, they had a bunch of Forbidden Fiber Co. yarn, and I haven't seen Forbidden Fiber Co. yarn in a shop for a while, so I indulged. I found these so good things. This one's called Feathertail. This one's called Iron Flame and Signet. So the outside ones are Pride, and are these, yeah, this is fingering weight. They're sparkly, so the outside ones are sparkly, and then the inside is just a great contrast, and you know, they just all blend so well together. So this was my fun purchase for, I have no clue what it's going to be yet. I did purchase a pattern. They passed around some different samples, and one of the samples is the Starlight and Timber Mitts by Laura Mayer, and she's local, I believe, for up in that area, and she created this pattern, and I love the hat as well. And I think there's there's fingerless mitts, there's mitts. I feel like there might be a cowl as well, but I definitely am drawn to those fingerless mitts and the hat. I got some stitch markers that have numbers on them. And then since I have a few sweaters that I want to do in some sleeves, and there's decreases and increases, I got 2 different colors. So if I have like a right side and a left side kind of a deal, I can keep them straight. And then, oh yeah, we got this little taggy deal, leather tag to put on our thing. Oh, stitch markers. This is funny. So on this, I started using them on this project. When I came home last weekend, my husband said something about, like, he was like, "You're gonna make us broke at going to all the yarn shops," and I'm like, whatever. And he goes, "Well, no, he won't make us broke, but you are gonna like drive me crazy." So I am so glad I bought these stitch markers on my husband's last nerve. I showed him, I'm like, "Oh, I gotta show you what I bought, honey." He's like, he just laughed. So it was kind of funny. It was good times. And then I got these other stitch markers too. These fun little daisies. So that's what I got for purchases. They had door prizes. I won a door prize. So I got another Malabrigo bag. And in my bag here, I got some Dos Tierras. And this yarn was fun. I like this one. And I got 3 skeins of it. And these are the colors that I got. And this is Cereza. And then we have Purpurus. And then this last kind of more grayer one is Plomo, like a plum kind of color. So red, purple, plum. Yeah, so that was last weekend there. But wait, there's more. After I went there, there's a quilt shop called, what is the quilt shop called? She Shed quilt shop. And I'm like, I should probably go to the She Shed quilt shop since I'm here. So I did. And I found some fun fabric. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. Or did I have a plan for this? No, I don't have an exact plan for this one yet, but I could possibly use this one. So this has some fun. This is Lewis and Irene, Cassandra Connolly. Some Sewing Notion stuff. And then there's this, it's tea related. Riley Blake Designs Flamingo Toes. And then I got some yarn. And then they had a couple coffee prints that I liked. Again, I don't know what I'm going to do with these, but I do like them a lot. And this is the only one that has like a definite plan. This Christmas one, This is Prairie Christmas by Amanda Cochran, and it's poppy cotton, but it's like this Christmas scene or winter scene, and then I got this to go with it. So yeah, so I got that from She Shed Quilt Shop up in right next door to Warm and Woolly in North Branch. All right, I have one more purchase, scouring closely, and this is, I got some planners and journals for 2026. This is called from Plum Paper. Again, Facebook ad. But it hooked me because it's like I've been searching and looking at all these planners and everything for a long time. These aren't daily, but they're thick. And the reason they're so thick is because I was able to add dotted pages and lined note pages to each month. And I don't need all the specific trackers. I just wanted more room to write things. So, so this is, and then you can like design, custom what you want on your front cover or whatever too. So just kind of an overview here. So the first thing of the month, it has your place for 3 goals, and then birthdays, events, and things to remember, and then notes. Then it gives you your monthly spread with a little bit of area for notes. And then it goes into your week. So on your week, you have each day, you have your priorities and your to-do list for each day. And then you've got like a little habit tracker kind of a thing if you want up here. And then like extra notes right there. And I mean, this is perfect because these are all the things I need. I don't need all the extra cleaning trackers, self-motivation tracker. I just like places where I can help designate what things are. So let me get to the end of the month here. And then I have lined note pages. So now this is where I can put some of my FlossTube stuff in if I need to take notes. So I have like 2 pages of lined and then 2 pages of graph. And that's what I have for each month. So it's, yes, it's a little thicker, but I like it. It's got what I need. It's basic, but fulfills my needs. And then I got this one. So this one is a meeting notebook, and I am going to use this one for my specific for FlossTube. So, so I like the coffee, wine, and stitching time. If I'm using it for FlossTube, what the heck? So each one of these is a meeting. So, to go up a little closer, it's like today's topic, attendees meeting notes. So I can say like date, time, FlossTube number, title of it, put in my notes, put in my plans, put in all the things, you know, meeting recap and action items. This fulfills what I need for a FlossTube planner, honestly. So yeah, so that's really cool. And then you can see there's only 2 tabs there. So there's all the meetings. Then I've got notes section, and these are all lined papers. And then I have all the dotted journals. So I can use this for like retreat things or other things, or maybe, you know, I was kind of feeling like back here I can put all of my projects in there. Instead of having 3 different books where I have my projects, I could maybe keep them, like all of my starts I could put in here. And then I also have like a little folder in the back too to help organize, like if I want to organize bills or receipts or something. But yes, so Plum Paper is where I got those. So pretty fun. I like them. Gonna give them a whirl. Water resistant, tear proof, rigid, sturdy. It's good thick paper. And I like the spiral, and I don't like the discs on the Happy Planners. So I like the spiral thing too. All right, I think, yes, that brings me out of, that's the last of my purchases. I need nutrition. I need to keep going. So that brings me to plans. I gotta kick butt today. I'm gonna get upstairs. I'm gonna sew. I'm gonna do some cleaning in the room there. I'm gonna do some cleaning in the room here. I'm gonna do finish my laundry. I'm gonna pack, and I'm gonna fly tomorrow. So I've got lots of things to do. I was gonna get a pedicure, but we're gonna skip that. We'll just stick with what we got right now. We'll do that when we come back. And then let's see. Stitching plans. What I'm bringing with me for the retreat. I have a couple starts that I'm going to bring with. I'm going to bring Glennon Place Rambunctious Raccoons, and I have it all kitted up and ready to go. I'm also going to bring Let Us Be Thankful, my Bent Creek row. Again, all kitted up, ready to go. I might have 4 starts. Ooh. And I was talking with a couple people that are going to be there, and they're like, oh, do you have a tiny town going? I'm like, no. So I pulled out all of my tiny towns, and I decided to start. This is going to be the first tiny town I start. Thankful Tiny Town. And I pulled the flosses that I have, and Stacy, Thread the Needle Stitchery, will have her store there. So I'll be able to pick up whatever other flosses I need. I just have to decide which fabric I want to do it on. I'm either going to do it on 18 count Mayflower by, who is this by? I don't know who this was by. 18 count Mayflower or 18 count Platinum Zweigart. I'm leaning towards this one. But yeah, actually when I put it in the camera, I think, yeah, this one. Decision made. So there we are. So there are 3 new starts that I'm bringing with me. I have a couple other, let's put these tiny towns back there because we don't need those. I have a couple other items that I've had in my to-go with me pile, but I'm not going to bring those in starts. We're just going to wait for those for a little bit. So those are my 3 new starts. And I know I'm getting, it's cozy sweater or something like that. I don't know if I'm going to start that, but it was going to be a start event or initially, but I think I'm going to stick with these 3 starts. So then I have 3 other whips. So these are my fall whips that I have that I'm going to bring with. The first one is my Autumn Rules by Primrose. And let's see, when did I start this? I started this November of 2021. And I am using the called for floss, and I'm doing it on 25 count Lugana. I don't remember the name of it, but it is sparkly. So I'm going to work on this. This would be really, is this even doable for a finish? Visit the pumpkin. I'm like right here. You know, if I actually do some stitching, because my tourist day is going to be Wednesday, so that means Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So if I actually do some good stitching, I might be able to. Because on my starts, I don't usually go hog wild on my starts. I start my starts, and that's kind of it. Okay, the other one I'm bringing that I've had since October of 2021, And I really do want to finish this one there because this one I started with Stacy actually. So this is my philanthropic pumpkin. So I really want to get this going. And I've been struggling a little bit. Ooh, okay. I just saw a needle on here and I realized I have a needle. Found it. I put a needle over there so I could attach it to one of my whips. Okay, we're good now. So I was really struggling with linen and stuff like that until I got these fun little gadgets. And now I'm not having a problem stitching on linen. I even was stitching on the next one I'm going to show you a little bit last night. So here's my philanthropic pumpkin. And to show you, I got a little bit of stitching to do, but I feel like I can finish this one too. I might not FFO it there, but I can get the stitching done. All right, and the third fall whip that I have is Stitching with the Housewives. It's Harvest, this one here. And I started this at Welcome Stitchery last fall, I believe. And I did a little bit of, the floss is mostly called for. I have a couple little things. Yeah, November 8th of 2024 is when I started it. I'm doing it on 28 count cashel linen. And I have this one motif done. I haven't touched this one because I don't want it to say Harvest. I want it to say my last name. So I have part of the letters in Harvest and part of the letters in Snowman. So I was starting the M and I counted and looked and everything. And I'm like, yep, everything's like the same height for the letters in both of them. And the widths of them are, you know, if they're not exact on, they're very, very, very close. So, yeah, so I can do my last name. And this was one strand of thread to do that. And I'm halfway done with that side of the M already. So I'm hoping I can do a finish on this one as well. Because I don't think this took me very long either when I did that part. So I'm hoping to finish Philanthropic Pumpkin. I'm hoping to finish Autumn Rules. And I'm hoping to finish the other one. Autumn Rules, Philanthropic Pumpkin, and Harvest. So, and then 1, 2, 3 new starts. So I think I have a good plan. And then I'm gonna bring along for airport. I'll bring along my knitting. Actually, will all this be in my? No, I'm gonna try to fit the cross stitch stuff in my suitcase. Although I don't have that much, so I really could put that in my carry-on. I just have to make sure I don't have any good scissors in there. So yeah, there we are. There's the plans. So going to Pigeon Forge, and then I come back, and then I'll do a little recap and everything like that of things that I've done, and then I go on another retreat, and then I'll come back, and I don't know if I'll do another one right away. I might wait until after Thanksgiving on that one, but we'll see. We'll see where that lands. I don't know. Everything's up in the air, and every time I make a plan, I change it. So let's just not make plans. Let's just do what we want to do, but have an idea of the things we want to do. I like that idea. All right, with that, I am going to let you all go. I'm just looking around one last time to see if there's anything that I am forgetting. I don't think so. There we are. All right. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. And I'll see you in a little while. And double the smile, sparkle, shine today. Bye, y'all.